Stop letting your actions be controlled by selfish desires. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Most people live like puppets, rarely if ever thinking about the reason for their actions." But by allowing himself to be carried away by society and uncontrolled impulses, a dark future awaits. The ancient Stoics, on the other hand, disagreed with this. They knew that the quality of our lives depended on our choices. We have a duty to make the right choices, no matter the temptations, emotions, or opinions of others. They believed in the Stoic rule that if your choices were good, so were you. In a world where it often seems like everyone is obsessed with earning and having more, there is a path less traveled, a journey towards freedom for those brave enough. This journey is about the power found in release, the ability to step back to move forward, and the deep peace that comes with letting go. It's not about giving up dreams or ambitions, but about finding a deeper freedom, which goes beyond material achievements and society's expectations. She invites us to explore inner strength, take care of our mental space, and face life's ups and downs with tranquility and wisdom. Let's begin a transformative journey in search of true freedom, guided by the ancient principles of a philosophy that leads us to serenity and self-control. In the realm of the human mind, mind power is the last territory to be conquered. It is the cradle of creativity, the refuge of peace, and the battlefield of our most intimate battles. Despite its infinite potential, many of us struggle with our own thoughts, tangled in a tangle of uncertainties, worries, and fears. However, ancient Stoic philosophy offers us a beacon of light in the darkness of our thoughts. It teaches us not only to understand the complexities of the human mind, but to master them. This journey into Stoicism is not just an exploration of ancient knowledge, it is an invitation to unlock the latent power in our minds. Through Stoic teachings, we will begin a journey of transformation to rediscover the strength, resilience, and inner peace that sleep within us. First lesson: the transformative power of challenges. At the heart of Stoicism is an interesting idea. Obstacles are not problems, but opportunities to grow. Marcus Aurelius, in his Reflections on Life, tells us that the challenges we often want to avoid are where our character is shaped. What stops us also makes us move forward. What is in the way becomes the way. This powerful phrase sums up the Stoic idea about adversity. It is not something to fear, but rather a chance to embrace. She shows us a freedom gained by overcoming obstacles, a freedom full of strength, patience, and courage. See challenges as opportunities for growth. Stoic philosophy invites us to see challenges as chances. Every difficulty we face is an opportunity to practice virtues such as patience, discipline, and resilience. This perspective changes our view of life, transforming problems into opportunities for growth. Difficulties are no longer obstacles to our progress, but steps towards our personal development and inner peace. This shift in perspective asks us to look beyond the immediate discomfort and see the long-term benefits of facing and overcoming difficulties. It is an invitation to act, engage with our struggles, and find opportunities for growth in them. Thus, challenges become not only bearable, but valuable, an essential part of the journey to self-control and freedom. Inner freedom through adversity. Accepting challenges as opportunities for growth leads us to better understand freedom. This freedom is not the absence of difficulties, but control over how we react to them. It is a state where we are no longer victims of circumstances, but creators of our destiny. By facing our challenges with courage and determination, we build an inner strength that remains steadfast through the storms of life. This process of transformation through adversity is not something we do alone. Stoicism teaches us that we are part of something bigger, connected to others by humanity. Our struggles and victories are shared, and by accepting our challenges, we contribute to the strength and wisdom of our community. The journey proposed by Stoicism leads us to a deeper understanding of how challenges can be agents of transformation in our lives. It is as if every difficulty encountered is an opportunity in disguise, waiting to strengthen us and lead us towards inner freedom. Marco Aurelio, with his timeless wisdom, encourages us not to retreat in the face of adversity, but rather to face them head-on, with courage and dignity. Instead of seeing challenges as impossible barriers to overcome, we are invited to see them as tests that show us how strong and determined we can be. As we explore Stoic philosophy further, we realize that every difficult moment, every challenge is a chance to grow and become better. Imagine it as a hero's journey, where each battle makes us more resilient, wiser, and more prepared to face the challenges that lie ahead with more confidence. The freedom we seek is not to escape challenges, but to face them head-on, with courage and determination. So instead of being afraid of challenges, we should accept them as opportunities to grow and improve. Each obstacle overcome takes us closer to reaching our full human potential, guiding us towards a freedom achieved with effort, determination, and above all, courage. Second lesson, the essence of perception. In the great tapestry of life, few threads are as brilliant and misunderstood as the art of perception. Marcus Aurelius, a great Stoic philosopher, teaches us something very important about freedom. The true battlefield where freedom is won or lost is not in the external world, but within our minds. Perception, as Aurelio teaches us, is the way we see life. It is a tool as flexible as clay, but as powerful as the strongest weapon. The Stoics knew this and advocated an internal change, a reformulation of how we see things to see beyond the immediate, beyond the chaos that life often presents. This lesson does not deny the existence of external problems or challenges. Rather, it is about recognizing that our interpretation of these events is the key to our imprisonment or our freedom. By changing our perception, we take control over our emotions, our reactions, and ultimately our sense of peace. Removal. For the Stoics, walking away is not a physical withdrawal, but a mental release. To walk away is to free yourself from the uncontrolled emotions, social expectations, and prisons we create for ourselves, our uncontrolled perceptions. Aurelio's wisdom invites us to take a journey inward, to the only place we truly control, our minds. By mastering our perceptions, we find the strength to face difficult times calmly. This mastery is not the end, but the beginning, the first step on a path that leads to inner peace, resilience, and a deep sense of freedom. As we embrace the power of perception, we recognize that although the world may be in constant chaos around us, the eye of the storm, the sanctuary of tranquility, is within us. Every challenge, every difficulty we face, becomes an opportunity to strengthen our inner serenity and expand our capacity to live with purpose and clarity. As we learn more from the Stoic lessons of Marcus Aurelius and his contemporaries, we discover not only how to endure life's ups and downs, but how to thrive in their midst. Stoicism teaches us to see every setback as a chance to grow, every criticism as an opportunity to learn, and every moment of doubt as an occasion to practice trusting ourselves. In this process, moving away from unnecessary conflicts and worldly concerns then becomes an act of profound empowerment, a declaration of independence from external circumstances. Let's imagine that, in the middle of a turbulent work meeting, you choose not to react impulsively to unfair criticism. Instead, take a deep breath and allow your Stoic mind to calm the waters within. This action not only demonstrates self-control, but also inspires respect and admiration from colleagues, setting an example of calm leadership. This journey of self-discovery and self-transformation leads us to a realm of inner freedom, a freedom that is not conditioned by the fluctuations of the outside world, but that resides firmly within ourselves. Imagine this mental space as an oasis in the desert of life, a place where we can retreat when the storms of existence threaten to sweep us away. It is in this inner sanctum that we find the true essence of self, where our deepest values illuminate the path ahead. By practicing daily emotional control and continuous reflection, we build and strengthen this mental oasis. It's like watering a plant every day, caring for it with care and attention, so that it can flourish and prosper even in the driest terrain. This constant practice enables us to find clarity and peace even in the most turbulent times, like an anchor that keeps us firmly planted as the waves of life churn around us. The true freedom we find in this mental space is the freedom of self, a freedom that transcends external limitations and allows us to live in harmony with our deepest values and principles. It is a freedom that makes us more resilient, more compassionate, and more balanced, even in the face of the most difficult challenges. In this state of inner freedom, we find an unshakable calm and quiet wisdom that guide us through the vicissitudes of life. As we incorporate these Stoic practices into our everyday lives, we become participants in a philosophical tradition that values practical wisdom and the pursuit of self-improvement. Every moment becomes an opportunity to exercise virtue, to choose the noblest path, and to grow toward our highest potential. So our journey is not just about enduring life's trials, but about flourishing in the midst of them, living a life of purpose, peace, and true freedom. Third lesson, embrace the present moment. Stoic philosophy offers us a great lesson about living in the present moment. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, powerfully tells us, "It could end now. Let it influence your actions, words, and thoughts." This shows us how freedom and happiness are linked to the now, not the past or future. The value of the present moment is a precious lesson that the Stoics bequeath to us. They remind us that reliving the past or worrying excessively about the future prevents us from truly savoring life. Instead, it is in the now that we find the opportunity to shape our destiny and leave a positive mark on the world around us. When we cling to the past, we are like birds with tied wings, unable to fly freely to new horizons. Likewise, if we wallow in anxieties about the future, we miss the chance to fully live in the present. It is in this present that we find the true essence of life, where every moment is an opportunity to grow, learn, and experience the joy of existing. Accepting the present is not just resignation, but an active choice to live with intention and purpose. It's about taking control of our own happiness and finding meaning in the little things in everyday life. When we embrace the now, we are able to appreciate the smiles of a loved one, the warmth of the sun on our skin, or the comforting aroma of a cup of coffee in the morning. Furthermore, recognizing the ephemerality of life reminds us of the importance of living authentically and kindly. When we focus on the present, we are better able to forgive past mistakes and face future challenges with courage and determination. Every moment becomes a precious gift, an opportunity to express gratitude and cultivate a positive outlook on life. So may we all embrace the present with open arms, knowing that it is here and now that we find true fulfillment and meaning. May we live each moment with joy, gratitude, and love, creating a life rich in precious experiences and memories. Living in the present, following Stoic philosophy, gives us a special freedom. This frees us from worries about time, allowing us to enjoy every moment. It means finding joy in the little things, fulfilling our obligations, and accepting what happens without getting stressed. Furthermore, living in the present moment makes us stronger in the face of challenges. We know we can deal with them one at a time, using our virtues as a guide. Accepting the present moment is like opening a door to freedom, a freedom that goes beyond the limitations of time and space. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, we are encouraged to free ourselves from the bonds of the past and the future, and surrender completely to the constant flow of the present. It is in this state of full consciousness that we find true freedom, a freedom that does not depend on external circumstances, but arises from our inner posture. By exploring Stoic teachings, we realize that freedom is not just an abstract idea, but something we practice every day. We are challenged to live each moment with acceptance and gratitude, recognizing that it is in the here and now that life really happens. This does not mean ignoring the past or neglecting the future, but rather being completely present in each moment, aware of the opportunities and challenges that arise. This practice of living fully in the present frees us from the worries and anxieties that often tie us to the past or worry us about the future. It allows us to experience a feeling of lightness and fluidity as we surrender to the flow of life and trust the natural process of things. Therefore, true freedom is not in seeking perfect conditions or ideal circumstances, but in finding peace and contentment right where we are. It is by embracing the present moment that we discover the fullness of life and free ourselves to truly be ourselves. Lesson 4. Find freedom and let go of toxic relationships. In the great journey of life, relationships play a fundamental role. Stoicism, a philosophy that seeks inner peace and virtue, offers us valuable insights into how to deal with the ups and downs of human connections. Inspired by the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, we learn a challenging and transformative lesson: the power of walking away from relationships that harm us. You have control over your mind, not external events. Remember this, and you will find strength. This lesson applies not only to what happens around us, but also to how we handle our relationships. Finding freedom means having the courage to leave behind ties that bind us. Wisdom in relationships, according to Aurelio, is using reason to discern the quality and value of our connections. This discernment is not about judging others, but about understanding which relationships help us grow and which ones weaken us. Relationships must be built on mutual respect, growth, and the pursuit of virtue. When a relationship becomes harmful, it not only disturbs our peace, but also takes us away from the virtuous life. Letting go of toxic relationships takes courage and self-respect. It is a recognition of our own worth and well-being. It involves deep reflection to recognize the signs of toxicity and the wisdom to understand that sometimes we need to move forward to grow. Letting go is not a weakness, but rather a step towards self-preservation and inner peace. Embrace freedom through detachment. Leaving an unhealthy relationship is an act of profound freedom. It's showing that we are capable of controlling our emotions and reactions. By choosing to leave a situation that is harmful to us, we are prioritizing our emotional well-being and seeking a more satisfying life. This freedom does not come without challenges. It can bring pain and fear. However, Stoicism teaches us that these feelings are natural and can be overcome with wisdom and perseverance. The freedom that comes from leaving toxic relationships behind shows our resilience and capacity for growth. This makes room for healthier connections that are aligned with our values. Avoiding unhealthy relationships is an important lesson on the path from Stoicism to freedom. When we find ourselves in situations that tire and confuse us, it is crucial to remember that, as Marco Aurelio teaches us, we can control our reactions. We can choose how to act in these situations and decide if we want to stay where we feel bad. By using the teachings of Stoicism, such as rationality, self-reflection, and virtue, we can deal with the challenges of relationships wisely. Viewing relationships rationally helps us recognize negative patterns and make wise decisions. Reflecting on ourselves allows us to understand our role in these interactions and know when it is time to set limits to take care of ourselves. Virtue guides us to act with dignity and respect, both towards ourselves and others. Letting go is not just about ending a relationship. It's about growing up and finding peace in our own emotional and moral journey. It means understanding that by moving away from harmful situations, we are creating space for healthy, constructive relationships. It's an act of self-love and care, a way of showing that we value our own growth and happiness above all else. As we delve deeper into the teachings of Stoicism, we discover that each lesson is like a brick in building our inner freedom. This freedom is not simply the absence of obstacles, but the ability to face them with an inner serenity that guides us through the storms of life. When we understand this, we realize that true freedom is not outside of us, but is cultivated within, through the choices we make and the relationships we nurture. Imagine for a moment what happens when we decide to walk away from a friendship that drains our energy and self-esteem. This decision is not just an act of self-preservation, but a powerful affirmation of our inner freedom. By moving away from negative influences, we are telling the world that we deserve better, that we deserve to surround ourselves with people who uplift us and support us on our personal journeys. By making this choice, we are not only freeing ourselves from the weight of judgment and negativity, we are making space for more authentic and uplifting relationships. This journey of self-discovery and authenticity is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves, and Stoicism guides us along this path with its simple yet profound philosophy. Therefore, every time we make a choice in alignment with our values and goals, we are exercising our inner freedom. It's like opening a window in a stuffy room, allowing fresh, revitalizing air to enter. This freedom is not just a state of being, but a daily practice, a journey of self-improvement and authenticity that leads us to a fuller and more meaningful life. Fifth lesson: the tranquility of embracing impermanence. Stoicism teaches us about the importance of recognizing that everything in life is temporary. Through Marco Aurelio's thoughtful reflections, we are invited to think about how everything is always changing. He reminds us that life is how we think, guiding us to understand that being free is accepting the moments that come and go. Within this philosophy, freeing yourself means not getting attached to things that are always changing. Understanding impermanence from the Stoic perspective. Knowing that everything in life is temporary does not discourage us, but helps us to value the present. Stoicism shows us that clinging to external things can cause suffering, as everything is constantly changing. Instead, we are encouraged to find peace within ourselves by focusing on our goodness and personality, the only things consistent amid change. This helps us not worry so much about changes and the fear of losing something. Accepting impermanence allows us to live each moment with gratitude and without worry. This does not diminish our love for life, but it helps us to cherish every moment. Accept impermanence to be truly free. The freedom to accept impermanence is profound. This frees us from the weight of expectations and the fear of the inevitable, keeping us grounded in the present moment where life really happens. This allows us to live without getting so attached to things that change. Furthermore, understanding that everything in life is temporary makes us more resilient. When we know that things always change, we are able to face challenges and losses with more courage. We learn to value the beauty of life, recognizing that each change helps us grow. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius echoes through the centuries, inviting us to contemplate impermanence as a fundamental truth of human experience. Imagine this changing reality as a ceaseless river, constantly flowing, shaping the landscape of our existence. By accepting and embracing this current of life, we find a key to true freedom, a freedom that is neither rooted in the past nor conditioned by the future, but flourishes in the present, where the river of existence flows. This journey to freedom is not an escape from reality, but rather a complete immersion in it. It's like learning to surf the waves of change, letting ourselves be carried by the current of life without resistance, confident that, even in the twists and turns of the river, we will find our balance. Instead of fighting the current, we learn to dance with it, to find harmony in the eternal dance of existence. As we delve deeper into Stoic philosophy, we discover that each teaching guides us to a deeper understanding of the relationship between our inner peace and acceptance of change. Impermanence, far from being a threat, becomes our ally, reminding us of the ephemerality of all things and the preciousness of each present moment. Instead of resisting the tides of change, we learn to navigate with them, finding serenity in the constant flow of events. Accepting impermanence is not denying life, but rather embracing it in its entirety, recognizing its ephemeral nature as an intrinsic part of the human journey. It's like contemplating a flower blooming, ephemeral but exuberant in its fleeting beauty. Thus, in accepting impermanence, we find a freedom that transcends the limitations of time and space, a freedom that flourishes in the full acceptance of the present moment. On this journey, we are invited to leave behind our ideas of control and security, and find comfort in the fact that the world is always changing. The freedom we achieve by accepting that things are fleeting is not just about not having external limitations, but about feeling a great peace within us, no matter what is happening around us. So by embracing the idea that everything changes, we discover a new way of living, a way of being in the world that allows us to find happiness and fulfillment even when things are changing. It is by accepting the fluid nature of life that we truly free ourselves and become who we truly are. Sixth lesson: embrace rationality as our guiding light. Within the teachings of the Stoics, rationality shines like a light that guides us through life with clarity. Marcus Aurelius, an ancient sage, said that thinking logically is essential for a fulfilling life. He encouraged us to use our minds to understand what is good, what is not so important, and what is out of our control. This Stoic principle shows us a greater freedom, which comes from controlling our inner world, even when the outer world is chaotic. Reason, as Aurelio explained, is not a cold thing, but rather an active and vibrant way of connecting with the world. It's like a compass that helps us navigate life's difficulties, distinguishing what's good from what's bad, and avoiding illusions that distract us from the right path. On this journey of discernment, it is important to understand our nature and the laws that govern the universe. She asks us to focus our energy not on the things we cannot control, but rather on the calm place within us where reason guides us. By using reason as our guide, We free ourselves from fleeting emotions and external turbulent events. This freedom is not escapism, but rather an elevation to a state where every decision is made with clarity and purpose. In this state, freedom is not the lack of limitations, but rather the presence of a guiding light that leads us to wisdom and virtue. Rationality, the basis of true freedom. The Stoic belief in rationality shows the power of the human spirit to overcome its limitations. Aurelio's teachings invite us to regain our autonomy by using our reason, questioning the world around us, and aligning our actions with the greater good. This alignment is not passive, but rather an active way of living in harmony with nature and reason. In Stoicism, freeing yourself is walking towards the light of rationality, building an internal fortress immune to the storms of destiny and luck, where wisdom illuminates the path to peace. As we explore the lessons of Stoicism, we begin to realize that the freedom we long for is not a distant, unattainable dream. Rather, it is an ever-present reality, just waiting to be revealed by the power of our rational minds. From this new perspective, rationality goes beyond a philosophical ideal and becomes a practical and essential tool for liberation. It is through it that we can create a space of tranquility amidst the chaos of the modern world, a mental refuge that protects us from external storms. Think of rationality as a strong anchor that holds us steady even when we face challenges in life. According to Stoic teachings, being free does not mean avoiding the difficulties of the world, but rather facing them with conscience, guided by reason. This allows us to deal with problems calmly and clearly, instead of getting carried away by uncontrolled emotions. Imagine a common situation in which emotions can easily flare up: an argument at work, a sudden delay, or unfair criticism. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can use rationality to stop and think. We can ask ourselves, what can I do to change this? How can I respond in a way that keeps me at peace? This approach turns possible conflicts into opportunities to show our inner strength and our commitment to peace and reason. This daily practice of being rational and reflecting not only helps us deal with immediate challenges, but also prepares us to face greater difficulties with courage and calm. With each challenge overcome, we strengthen our ability to remain calm under pressure and make decisions that reflect our values. Thus, the freedom that Stoicism offers is not just a temporary way to escape suffering, but a lasting change in our perspective and the way we live. The Stoics teach us that true freedom is internal. It is a state of mind that is unaffected by what happens around us. It's a freedom that gives us the power to choose how to react, to stay calm when things get difficult, and to understand what we can't change. It gives us the ability to live according to our values, to build important relationships, and to find happiness in the little things in life. Seventh lesson: the wisdom of daily self-reflection. In the search for inner freedom and peace of mind, Stoicism shows us the value of daily self-reflection. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor and philosopher, used to write down his thoughts, showing us how looking within can change our lives. He said that understanding yourself is the first step to living wisely and kindly. We could leave at any time. Let this guide our actions, words, and thoughts. He reminds us of the importance of thinking about how we live. Stepping away to reflect means taking a step away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life and turning inward, where true freedom begins. Accept reflection. Looking inside every day is like holding a mirror to the soul, observing without judging, but with a desire to understand and grow. It helps us think about why we do what we do, how we act, and whether we are getting closer to the life we want to lead. It's a moment of calm away from the noise outside, to reconnect with ourselves and realign our actions with our values. This is not to criticize ourselves, but to get to know ourselves better and grow. By reflecting on our day, choices, and reactions, we learn more about ourselves and who we want to become. It helps us make better choices, learn from our mistakes, and celebrate our successes, no matter how small. The power of self-reflection. The freedom that comes from daily reflection is profound. It frees us from the habits that control our lives without us realizing it, allowing us to live more authentically and consciously. This gives us the ability to face challenges with purpose and calm, based on our values and goals. Furthermore, it makes us feel responsible for our actions. It reminds us that while we can't control everything, we can control how we think, react, and grow. The key to unlocking inner freedom lies in our capacity for self-analysis and reflection. It is as if we are unraveling a mystery, an enigma that can only be deciphered when we turn within ourselves. In Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, we find a compass that guides us on this journey of self-knowledge, reminding us of the importance of examining our own lives, our actions, and our thoughts. By engaging in this daily practice of introspection, we delve into a fertile ground of self-awareness, where each moment of reflection brings us closer to true freedom. It's as if we are peeling away layers of illusion and self-deception, revealing our most authentic and true essence. In Stoicism, this journey towards freedom is not a departure from the world, but rather a deeper immersion in it. Armed with the clarity we gain through our self-analysis, we can face life's challenges with an inner calm and resilience that can only be found when we are in harmony with our deepest nature. So practicing daily reflection is not only a way of looking inside ourselves, but also a path to finding true freedom. It is through this constant process of thinking about our actions and feelings that we come closer to reaching our full potential as human beings, living in harmony with reason and nature, and discovering an inner tranquility that goes beyond the things happening around us. But there is something important to consider. If you have been trying for a long time to free yourself from patterns of thought and behavior that keep you trapped and haven't been successful, there may be other reasons for this that you still don't understand. However, I know what it can be. It's anxiety. Anxiety creeps in like a poisonous snake and affects us without us even realizing it. It can make us sick for days, months, and even years, keeping us trapped in a state of suffering. But there is a cure that the Stoics discovered, and when combined with modern psychology, it can free us from this poison. I shared a video explaining how you can get rid of this poison in your life, and the link is in the first comment. Click on the link and free yourself from the poison of anxiety. 8th lesson: the serenity of accepting what we cannot change. In the search for tranquility and freedom, Stoicism teaches us something valuable about accepting things as they are. With the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and the Stoic tradition, we learn to understand the limits of what we can control and find peace in letting go. This shows us that true freedom is not in wanting to change the world at will, but in accepting what we cannot change. Accept what destiny brings, says Aurelio, teaching us to find deep peace in acceptance. Recognizing what we can and cannot control is essential in Stoic philosophy. We can manage our thoughts, actions, and reactions, but we cannot control what others do, natural events or things that happen in the world. Understanding this does not make us powerless, but it gives us clarity, helping us to focus our energies on our own attitudes and behaviors. Breaking free here means stopping fighting what cannot be changed and focusing on our own improvement and the pursuit of virtue. It is an act of humility and wisdom, recognizing our smallness in the face of the vast universe. By accepting what we cannot change, we free ourselves from the anxiety, frustration, and disappointment that come when we try to control the uncontrollable. Acceptance is an act of liberation. It is not passively giving up, but actively engaging with reality, choosing to focus on what is within us, where we can effect real change. This Stoic lesson of acceptance guides us to abandon the illusion of control over external events and embrace inner freedom. Thus, we find a peace that is not easily disturbed by the turmoil of the world. Our emotional stability is based on a deep understanding of the nature of things, which allows us to face life's challenges with calm and dignity. The path to freedom in Stoicism is illuminated by the wisdom of acceptance. This principle teaches us to clearly discern between what we can and cannot control. By recognizing this distinction, we learn to release the futile desire to control what is beyond our reach, embracing a powerful form of freedom that emanates from within, regardless of external circumstances. This understanding frees us from the weight of frustrations and anxieties that arise when we try to change what cannot be changed. In Marco Aurelio's Meditations, we find precious guidance for this journey. He reminds us that although we cannot control destiny, we can always adjust our attitudes and perceptions. This constant adjustment allows us to direct our inner world towards a horizon of peace and freedom. Instead of being knocked down by unexpected challenges or insurmountable difficulties, we learn to respond with calm and resilience. Let's imagine a common situation, like having a day full of problems at work. Instead of becoming frustrated or angry with every difficulty, by following Stoic teachings, we can accept these events as part of life that we cannot change. We focus our energy on how we react to these challenges, maintaining an attitude of calm and determination. This does not mean standing still, but rather acting calmly to get through difficult times with clarity and focus. We begin to practice this acceptance with small daily actions. For example, if a carefully planned plan goes wrong, instead of lamenting, we can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? How can I respond in a way that reflects my values and inner peace? This reflection guides us towards a more balanced and less impulsive response. Acceptance also invites us to be grateful for what we have and can control. By focusing on our attitudes, choices, and reactions, we strengthen our sense of responsibility and ability to shape our own lives. This creates a positive cycle where each act of acceptance strengthens our inner freedom, making us stronger and less affected by external ups and downs. In short, the path to Stoic freedom is a constant journey of self-knowledge and growth. By following the teachings of Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic philosophers, we learn to cultivate a life of peace and freedom that is not in the hands of external circumstances, but rather in the power of our own attitudes and choices. This is a genuine and lasting power, which allows us to face any challenge with serenity and clarity of mind. As we continue to explore the profound lessons of Stoicism, we discover that the art of acceptance is not just a way of dealing with life's challenges, but rather an essential pillar for a life of virtue and tranquility. Ninth lesson: cultivate inner strength through the inner citadel. In the teachings of Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius tells us about the idea of an inner fortress, a place within us where we can feel safe and strong, no matter what is happening around us. This idea is like a shelter for our mind, where our virtues and our ability to think clearly are, even when everything seems chaotic outside. Freeing yourself in this sense is finding that inner strength and feeling free because of the strength of our character and our convictions. The inner fortress as a symbol of freedom. It represents the idea of being strong, as the Stoics teach. It's built on the idea that while we can't control what happens, we can choose how to respond. This fortitude is strengthened by things like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. When we cultivate these things, we create a strength within us that can help us through any difficult situation. Finding this inner strength does not mean isolating ourselves from the world or ignoring our responsibilities. It means using our own resources to live authentically and face challenges calmly. Accept the inner strength to be stronger. The journey to building and accepting our inner fortitude is challenging but rewarding. We need to practice, reflect on ourselves, and use Stoic teachings in our daily lives. As we become stronger inside, we realize that we don't need to depend so much on the opinions of others or the things that happen around us. We become more independent, not in an isolated way, but because we can find peace and happiness within ourselves. This strength is a form of freedom that goes beyond material things or what is happening outside. It's the freedom to choose how we feel in any situation and to act with kindness rather than acting on impulse. Our inner fortress is a place where our mind is calm and peaceful, no matter what is happening outside, which allows us to truly be who we are. The metaphor of the inner citadel, proposed by Marcus Aurelius, leads us to explore a fundamental aspect of inner freedom, the strength of the mind and spirit. Just as a citadel is built to resist external attacks, our inner fortitude is cultivated to face life's challenges. In this sense, true freedom is not escaping conflicts, but rather maintaining calm and integrity even in the face of the storms that may arise. As we delve deeper into Stoic philosophy, we realize that it doesn't just offer a way of thinking, but rather a practical guide to living with dignity and courage. The inner citadel symbolizes the idea that our true freedom is not subject to external circumstances, but is an internal achievement, rooted in the strength of our character and the serenity of our mind. Our journey towards inner freedom is like an epic adventure, where each challenge faced is an opportunity to strengthen the foundations of our soul. Just as an architect builds a fortress to resist external attacks, We build our inner citadel to resist life's adversities. With each setback, each obstacle overcome, our walls rise higher, our defenses become more solid. Imagine yourself as a warrior on your journey. Each battle won is a victory, not only over external forces, but also over internal fears and doubts. Every scar is a mark of honor, a reminder of your resilience and inner strength. It is in these moments of challenge that we discover the true power of our inner citadel, a place where courage and determination reside in every stone, in every thought, strengthened by Stoic wisdom. By cultivating this inner citadel, we embrace not just a philosophy, but a way of life. Stoic philosophy is not just a set of abstract ideas. It is a map that guides us through the labyrinths of existence, reminding us that true freedom lies not outside of us, but within ourselves. It is within our inner walls that we find the source of true freedom, a freedom that is not limited by external circumstances, but that manifests itself through our choices and values. Therefore, may we continue our journey towards the inner citadel, strengthening our ties with Stoic wisdom and becoming masters of our own existence. For it is only when we build this internal fortress that we can truly live with authenticity, courage, and peace of mind, regardless of the storms that may come our way. 10th lesson: virtue is the only true good. At the center of our journey through Stoicism is a very important idea. Virtue is what matters most. Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic philosophers teach us that living in a morally upright way is the key to true freedom. This means valuing internal qualities such as wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline, more than external things such as success or material possessions. Freeing yourself in this sense means putting aside the search for external things and finding happiness in seeking to be a better person. Virtue is the basis of our freedom. Stoics say that things like money, health, and status are not good or bad in themselves. They are neutral. What matters is how we use these things and whether our actions are in line with what is right. By placing virtue at the center of our lives, we gain a freedom that is unaffected by the things that happen around us. This freedom comes from knowing that we are acting in accordance with our most important values, living with integrity and purpose. Practice virtue in everyday life. To make this lesson part of our lives, we need to show the virtues in our daily actions. This means always thinking about what we do and trying to be better people. Choosing virtue as the most important thing takes effort, but this is how we find true freedom. This does not mean moving away from the world, but facing it with inner strength, guided by our values. Prioritizing virtue helps us face life's challenges calmly and influence others through our example. By focusing on virtue as the core value, we are on a journey of personal discovery and continuous improvement. This journey, based on the principles of Stoicism, is a constant process of moral growth and the search for true freedom. Marcus Aurelius and other Stoics invite us to look within, explore our deepest values, and act on them. It is not an easy journey, but it is very rewarding. The pursuit of virtue challenges us at every step, encouraging us to overcome our weaknesses and become better people. It is a path of self-control, self-knowledge, and dedication to good. As we continue this journey, we are not alone. We have the teachings of the Stoics to guide and inspire us, as well as the support of those who also seek to live up to these ideals. We find strength in each other, sharing our experiences and learnings along the way. We discover that true freedom lies not in following our most immediate desires, but in living according to our highest principles. It's finding joy, not in the things we can have, but in the person we become. And it is in the pursuit of virtue that we find not only freedom, but also true meaning and purpose in our lives. Let us say goodbye with words of Stoic wisdom, carrying the light of wisdom that has been passed down through the ages. The path to liberation is not marked by grand events or dramatic departures, but by the small steps we take every day toward understanding virtue and inner peace. May we continue to embrace the lessons of detachment, finding strength in the tranquility of our spirit and freedom in our convictions. At every step, we leave a legacy of resilience and grace, a testament to the enduring power of self-control and calm acceptance of life's constant change. Here's to the journey ahead, illuminated by the light of our wisdom and the infinite horizons of a freed soul.